Every single night, every night. Because if she gon' get inspired, he's got to free my soul, stop shit. Trapping in the movies, always in the
It's working. Let's see. What's this song? I gotta go old school. Old school. Gotta make sure the audio working. Quick. All right, we good. We Gucci. What's up, YouTube? It's the one and only Master Mycellf. IMCTV. The one and only. The Master's Table. I go by the name Master Mycellf. We'll go ahead and get started. After the song, streaming to you live from Phoenix or Tempe, specifically Arizona. Before we move to Las Vegas, like we talked about last cycle, man, it's gonna be quite a move, man. All of IMC Nation moving to Vegas, but you know, we're enjoying Phoenix or Phoenix area for the time being. And tonight we're talking about how to change your state of mind. So we get started right after this song. Salute to everybody.
So the people gon' remember, yes, it's cold in December, dropping heat like an ember, take a seat, get a lecture, I'm gon' eat like a leopard in my teeth. It's a measure of the peace and the pressure trying to keep others at their finally. I can feel it so deep, it's a power I am seeing. Feel it on it's hard to see, for the strong up for the weak, nobody let it go. Everybody let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. This is calling love, shaman to the essence. Gotta make it fit my presence. Colder than December, present time is like a present. Momentum more story, I don't want to waste a second. But new reader soldier, you can feel it in my essence. It's a process. Vision tripping, I ain't at the top yet. Making miracles, in the presence of a prophet. Feeling like a monster, swear to God, I'm like the Loch Ness. Beyond the game, they taking breaks and I ain't even stopped yet. At fire to try, put the vision together, we making it come alive. I ain't see it divide, it's the way that we ride. Got masters in the room and we call it a mastermind. Elevated outside, got stars in my eyes. It's about that time. It's about that time.
Salute, brothers. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you again. I go by the name Master Mycellf, and I'm here. This is the Master's Table, all right? So first and foremost, know and understand that everything that I do and say here is done under the banner of entertainment, all right? So don't take what I say seriously. Number two, this is for adults and adults only, all right? If there are kids in the room, I advise you to guide them through what's being said here. Let me make sure I go ahead and go live on IG as well. Number three, wherever it is that you're tuning in from, do not break the laws of the land, right? Respect the laws. Number four, you're an adult, once again, so you're responsible for your own actions, all right? And number five, once again, this is the Master's Table, and I go by the name Master Mycellf, and I'm here and I'm ready to serve. All right, it's a pleasure and honor to tap in. This is what we do every single Monday. All right, consistently for the last damn near 3 years. We've been consistently streaming. All right, tapping in. So I'm gonna go ahead and go live here on IG as well. Tonight we're talking about how to change your state of mind. It's something that seems like a very simple concept for those who work on themselves on a consistent basis. However, for those who aren't, working on themselves on a consistent basis, what is the way to start to change yourself, change your mind, change your state of mind, which is something that's really, really powerful. It's like a lost art. You know what I'm saying at this point in time. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. Let me go ahead and set this up here on YouTube. What's this thing called? IG. How to change your state of mind. Salute to real fam Jake in the house. Salute, brother. Good to have you on. Get started shortly. Bang. All right. Smooth. All right. So how to change your state of mind, right? What is it that you need to do to begin to change yourself and change the way that you're thinking? Well, let's first start with the understanding or the understanding, like I like to say here on the Master's Table, that everything, first and foremost, if we look at, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite rules, if you will, or laws that I abide by is, it's all in a state of mind. That's the quote that comes from my mentor that's been rephrased, or, the syntax had been changed, if you will. But that's a breakdown of the first universal law, which is all is mind, or mind is all, right? And what does that mean? Well, there's nothing that happens that's happening that we can understand, that we can perceive, that's happening outside of our mind, right? So your mind is something that you can begin to, direct in a certain direction, or direct in a certain direction. You can guide your mind in a certain way, right? You can use your mind to lead your life, right? You can begin to see things from your own mind, right? And when you understand that everything is being perceived by you, whether you're realizing it or not, whether you're aware of it or not, everything is being perceived by your own mind, right? So your mind, what's up, Jay Roth in the house? Salute, brother. Good to have you. Everything is gonna follow your mind, right? So nothing's happening outside of what you got going on or what your personal perception is. Everything is happening first and foremost in your own perception, right? So when you are experiencing maybe a negative situation or a negative circumstance, or you're going through this, trial and tribulation, or even if it's on the positive side, right? If you want to elevate and go to the next level, right? Or if you want to get from that depressed state of mind or whatever the case may be, what you got to do is first recognize that you have the power to begin to change yourself. What's up, Faith? What's going on, love? You have the power to change yourself. You have the power to use your mind and apply your intelligence to begin to change the way that you're seeing whatever it is that you're looking at, right? So one of my favorite quotes that comes from, the Dr. Wayne Dyer, I've quoted many times here on the Master's Table, is, when you change the way you look at things, things change, right? So how you're perceiving whatever it is that you're experiencing, whatever your experience is, good, bad, indifferent, great, excellent, or, magical, wonderful, whatever your perception is, it's all up to you to use that perception to direct it wherever it is that you want, right? So you have the ability to use your mind and apply your own intelligence of how you look at this thing called life, right? Because, without the understanding that you have the ability to change the way that you're perceiving life, you're not going to change your life, right? You're going to experience life one direction. That's the state or the condition that most people find themselves in, right? Hey, my brother Austin, salute, man. Just met you last weekend, man. Salute. Right? So wherever it is that you are whatever you're experiencing at this point in time, you got to know and understand it's only a reflection of your own mind, right? And so if you want to change that, you want to use your own intelligence, you want to use your mind to work, you want your mind to work for you. All right, I don't know who that is, but salute, good to have you on. You're going to want to, first of all, take responsibility for the way that you're perceiving life, right? So don't operate as a victim. Instead, operate as the victor, right? Use your mind to work for you. So how can you begin to look at this thing called life in a different way? Well, you can begin to look at, let's say that you have, let's say that you have no money in the bank, right? If you're in a condition where you don't have any money, you don't know what to do next, right? You feel like, man, I'm broke, and so on and so forth. Well, recognize first and foremost, let's go to the first universal law. It's all in the mind, right? Mind is all. Everything is in your mind. So you start with your mind and you begin to use your mind intelligently, and you say, you know what, instead of me thinking that I don't have this, or highlighting that this is not working in my benefit, well, what is working for you, right? It's, once again, you're shifting your attention from what's not working to what's working. So what's working for you, what's happening for you, right? And not happening for you, right? So we're going to redirect our mind. We're going to use our mind intelligently to focus on what it is that we want more of, right? So if you want more money, right, just as an example, how can you get more money, right? It's not about what you don't have. What do you have? You have a sense of intelligence. You have a mind. Everybody in this world has a mind. You have a mind, and you can use this mind, right, instead of being used by your mind. Now, you're going to be bombarded by every kind of distraction, right? You're going to be, pulled in this direction. Like, man, I know you don't have no money, so you got to live in this condition, or man, you're not gonna be, how you gonna eat, and so on and so forth. Or you may see a advertisement on Instagram or Facebook or TV or whatever, if you're watching TV and shit. Whatever it is, you may have some kind of outside influence, right? That if you aren't taking responsibility for your mind will be derailed. You won't be able to use your mind for you unless you are continuously taking the responsibility and utilizing your mind consciously, right? So redirecting your mind exactly where you want it to be at. So that's one way, right? You begin to use your own intelligence, your own ability to perceive this thing called life, and direct it exactly where you want. So what is it that you really want, right? What is it that you want to focus on? What is it that you really want more of in your life? So that's one way, right? Begin to just simply change the way that you perceive your mind. Now, I have several different practices of how I begin to change myself or change my own state of mind. Earlier today, I was having several situations and circumstances, whatever the case may be, where I could be distracted. I could be, focus on the lack, or focus on me not having the answers for this thing called like your girl Leah. What's up? How do we know each other? I don't know how I know you or how you know me. So what's up? So I could get lost in that train of thought. I could get lost in man, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how this is going to happen, and so on and so forth. I could get lost there, right? And I saw the opportunity for me to do that. So what I did is I took a moment, right, before I did anything else, and I allowed myself to dwell there, right? So I didn't aim to change anything first and foremost, right? What I did was I dwelled there. I allowed my mind to just go ahead and play out, right? So, a lot of people don't know how to change their minds, or they don't take responsibility for their minds, and so on and so forth. If that's the case that you find, or if that's the scenario that you find yourself in, simply let your mind play out, right? Let your mind go, right? Don't try to control your mind. Don't try to stop your mind. Don't try to do anything. Just let your mind go. And let's see what happens, right? The beautiful part about that is you don't have to, once again, you don't have to be a victim, right, to the state or the condition that your mind is telling you to go, right? You can experience it, let it play out, let it say what it wants to say, right? So your mind might be like, man, you ain't never gonna be, good enough to do this. Or you ain't never been shit. You ain't never gonna be shit, right? Whatever your mind, your own self-talk may be, right? And so once again, those are just thoughts. So let them play out. It doesn't hurt to think those thoughts. Those thoughts don't change you. What does change you is if you fall victim to that. If you fall into the pattern or the repetition of doing that over and over and over again and not doing anything to change it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of that, right? As the end result. So how can you use your mind, right? Or how can you allow your mind to play out, right? And then begin to witness your mind, right? So if you're witnessing your mind, once again, you are understanding that you, whoever you are, right, are separate from your mind. Most people don't establish that level of separation, so they will constantly be in a state of suffering because they don't allow themselves to see or witness what's happening in your mind, right? Now, each one of our minds, what is the mind? Let's just go into that real quick. Your mind can simply be summarized as a program or a database or a computer of some sort, right? In fact, real life computers are modeled after the mechanism of your mind. If you don't know that, do some research, right? Your mind, your iPhone, your iPad, your computer, your laptop, all of that has been modeled after the way that our mental capacity operates, right? And so you have an opportunity again to use, right, this computer, this programming, right, that can be utilized for you, or once again, if it's running a program that somebody else gave that computer, then it's just going to run a program. Your mind, now I've broken down the mind several times in these lives. Your mind is composed of two different parts, right? The conscious mind and subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is what happens, or is the creative function that we use to begin to program, right, the way that we are operating in life, right? Your conscious mind is what you're thinking of, what you're aware of, right? And so you can, once again, we're talking about utilizing your focus, your conscious mind, to impact your subconscious mind, which is like the computer program I'm referencing, right? So understanding all of that, witness, right, what's going on in your own subconscious mind, meaning like what's the program that's playing. You witness that, okay, great. You know that that's not you. That's just a program that's been running. You come in when you apply your consciousness, right, and you allow your conscious thought, you allow your thoughts to direct your life, right, or to begin to program your subconscious mind. Because once again, your subconscious mind is going to just operate off of a program, right? So I don't know how many people was around when computers and programming and whatnot were being like built out. But I grew up in that era, right? So in the year, what year was it? It had to be late 90s, early 2000s, in an era where, the computer, I would say like 98, to like 2000 or whatever, was when, the computer programs, so on and so forth, like that was becoming a normal thing to have in your, household, right? So I remember growing up and having Windows 98, right? So I remember putting in the disk or putting in the CD-ROM, right, into the computer, and then running the program, and the program was being installed into that computer. Now, if you're tracking along with me, you can maybe see the parallel here, but maybe you don't know, what I'm talking about, right? So if that's you, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Just think about it as an installation, right? For your iPhone. Each one of us has maybe an iPhone, or maybe even you have a regular phone, whatever the case may be. When you get updates, right? What is happening? Well, those updates are reinstalling or installing these tweaks, these fixes, and so on and so forth into this programming or to this hardware, right? Or excuse me, not to the hardware. The hardware has a software. The hardware is running a software. I'm talking a lot of computer shit right now, so it's not how nerdy. So, if you are aware of, these updates that you can, begin to apply to your mind, once again, that's another way that you can begin to change or alter your state of mind. Now, how do you do that? What is it that, how do you parallel that? You know what I'm saying? So if we have the updates for your phone or for the computer, or whatever the case may be, what's the literal translation for that in real life? Well, what I use, or a creative function that is very, very simple. It's like a life hack, if you will, but binaural beats, right? Binaural beats is something that anybody can tap into. You can use on YouTube, on a consistent basis, and you can literally just go tap in and listen to any kind of binaural beats, whatever it is that the state of mind that you want to change yourself to. So why do those work, right? Why are binaural beats a creative function of how you can begin to change your state of mind, or change the way that you feel, or the way that you're vibrating, if you will? Our bodies, right, and this is the scientific studies as far as I know that I'm aware of, but our bodies are composed of 70% of water, right? If you've had any kind of understanding of energy, frequency, and vibration, if you do any kind of research and so on and so forth, you can know and understand that our bodies are composed of water. How you change water is you change the frequency or the vibration that is around or that is crystallizing the molecular structure, right, of the water, if you will, right? So if our bodies are composed of 70% of water, right, our bodies can change in vibration. You can change the way that it's creatively functioning, right? You can change the way that your mind is functioning based off of, the frequency that you're putting into your body, right? And so, hence why music is so powerful. Hence why, spoken word, what I'm saying, affirmations, things like that can be so powerful because you're going to the basic function of a cellular structure, which is how you create that level of change on a different level, right? But let's go back to the mind, if you will. So what I use is binaural beats to change the way that I feel, right, on the inside. And I know that's a creative function of my mind, right? So it's like a master key, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's here plugged in and tapped in, you can use this to create effects on your own mind, and your own consciousness, your own body, and so on and so forth, right? And you have the ability, hey, much love, brother, salute, man. You have the ability, right, to begin to, literally craft or tune, right, your own vibration, your way that your mind is functioning, right? And so that's another way that I, am able to change my state of mind, change my creative functions, if you will, right? So again, understanding the mechanics of our mind, right? Understanding the subconscious is simply just a program, right? So it's a program that you would like run into a computer, you know what I'm saying? You can put it on a CD-ROM, whatever case may be, and you're saying, yo, this is the program that I want to put in. So I want a program of abundance. I want a program of wealth. I want a program of operating at the highest level. You know what I'm saying? I want a program of trust. I want a program of just being a badass, whatever the case may be, whatever that may be for you, run that program. And, when you are creatively choosing to run that program, that becomes the essence of how you are operating in this life. And then you know how to change your state of mind. So if you ever find yourself in a quote unquote depression, you find yourself in a just a negative state of mind, you know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes that's the time that we want to change. But even if you find yourself in a very good vibration, you can elevate that. You can take that to the next level. See, I don't think many people are aware of, the creative power that we all have. You have the power to change how you feel, how you move, how you speak, all of that. And it's just a simple matter of you taking responsibility, right, for how you are operating in this life, in this world. When you do that, right, you're now operating at a higher level. And this is why this is called the master's table, right? Because I'm talking to the masters. The masters are the ones that take responsibility for the way that they're functioning in life. We're taking responsibility for the way that we feel. We're taking responsibility for, our creative experience in this life. I don't live any kind of normal life. Me and any of my brothers and IMCTV, we don't live a normal life, right? That normie life, this is what we call people that live the normal life, normies, is a lifestyle that is, a result of not taking responsibility for the way that you live. Not taking responsibility for your mind, not, just taking responsibility at all, right? Your responsibility is your ability to respond differently to life. How are you going to choose to respond from this moment on, right? How are you going to choose to move from this moment on? It's all up to you, right? It's within your means to begin to change yourself by changing yourself, right? Step by step. So once again, if you can follow these steps, and once I just, went over, and then real friend Jake, if you have any questions, brother, or any feedback, I'd like to hear from you also. But if you have any kind of if you have a desire to become, somebody greater, if you have a desire to get better at this thing called life, you're going to first and foremost take responsibility for the way that you feel, the way that you move, the way that you speak, right? And if you can do that, right, then you're going to operate at the level of a master instead of being, operating as a slave or operating as somebody that has been programmed and you're not taking that level of responsibility. No, that's not who I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to those who want to take responsibility for their lives and want to live this certain kind of lifestyle, to live the lifestyle they choose to live, right? Because each of us have the ability to choose how we want to live and how we want to experience this thing called life, all right? So those are the three, keys, if you will, that I can say. First of all, recognizing that you have the ability to change yourself once again. Advanced life forms. Hey, that's a great name. Salute, good to have you on. So recognizing that you have the ability, right, to witness that everything is happening in your mind, right? So if you know that everything's happening in your mind, you have the ability to change how you're seeing things, how you're experiencing things, right? Then knowing and recognizing that you have the ability to take responsibility once again and change the way that you're feeling, the way that you're moving, the way that you're speaking, right? And that's happening as a result of the frequencies you choose to operate on. So once again, binaural beats is a life hack, right? Use those. Type them in on YouTube. Anybody can use, you know what I'm saying? But very few people actually do, right? And very few people are taking responsibility for their lives on that standpoint, right? Or from that standpoint. And so I talk about perception, talk about binaural beats, and then just the fact that everything is happening in the mind, right? So recognizing once again that you have the ability to change. You don't have to stay the same. You don't have to stay in that negative state of mind. You can take responsibility. You can operate from that place of power, right? Knowing that nobody else is going to do it for you. It's up to you to change yourself. But when you change yourself, once again, you're changing the way that you're relating to the world and the way that the world will relate to you, right? Because it's all in the state of mind, right? So that's the phrase. That's the all right, cool. That's the phrase. That's the mantra, if you will, right? It's all in the state of mind. It's been a mantra for it's been for years. You know what I'm saying? That I've heard that from my mentor AZD, who's the founder of IMCTV Nation. So if you don't know who AZD is, I highly recommend that you go ahead and look him up. But that's been the foundation of everything that we've been building on, within IMCTV Nation. That everything is in the state of mind. So you have the ability to change your state. Right? How you do that is up to you, right? You choose what you want to tap into. You choose the music that you listen to. You choose the words that you're constantly tapping into on a regular basis. You're choosing what conversations you have. You're choosing what state of mind you're operating from on a consistent basis, and taking the responsibility to choose, right, how you feel, how you move, how you speak on a consistent basis. That's where you take back your power. All right, real friend Jake. Any feedback, brother? You want to hear live? Tell people here on IG as well. If not, it's all good. Just want to give you the opportunity. You might be driving. Nothing right now, but that was powerful. Thank you. Right on, bro. Appreciate you being on. All right, so just to wrap up, very short episode today. Normally we go for about 30, 45 minutes, whatever the case may be. It's about 30 minutes right now. Just to wrap up, you know what I'm saying? What we do here on the Master's Table is a meditative moment. All right, so we're going to take about 5 minutes here and just distance ourselves from, this external world, this external experience, and start to tap into the inner space, right? This is one of my favorite practices that I've started, I want to say, probably about 2 years into these live streams, you know what I'm saying? And, staying consistent with that practice, it changes everything, right? So taking a moment now, I'm going to go ahead and get off of IG. Salute to IG. Y'all don't not get the replay. And let's go 5 minutes here. All right, so wherever it is that you are, whatever it is that you're doing, just take the time to start to tap into your inner space. Close your eyes. Tap into your own inner place, sacred space. Nobody else can access. This is, the inner space that nobody else has access to. I count it as the most sacred space for each of us. You know what I'm saying? Each of us has our own mind, our own space to begin to create from. And that's, the space inside. Nobody else has access to your world on the inside. It's all about what you're directing from the inside, right? You are the one that's shining the lights. Whatever it is that you focus on the inside, you're going to get more of on the outside, right? So we take a moment to breathe and then tap in to our inner space for about 3 minutes here. So for the next minute, let's go ahead and start our breathing. So breathe in through the nose. Begin to center yourself. And let it out. Relaxing your body, your mind, consciousness. Taking another deep breath in through the nose. Let it out. Breathing in again. This time slower. Hold it at the top. Breathe in. Three, two, one. Let it out. Relaxing even deeper. Breathing in. Fill the lungs. Breathe in all the positivity and let out all the negativity. Let it out. One more breath. Breathing in. Let it out. For the next 3 minutes, enjoy your peace, your space inside. Just tap in. So we come to the end of this exercise. Before you open your eyes, just take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to tap in to the world within, your sacred place, sacred space, that nobody else has access to. So begin to open your eyes. Just like take a moment to say salute to everybody that tapped in and watches these recordings and so on and so forth. It's a pleasure and honor as always to tap in here on IMCTV and to continue to create, within IMC Nation. I'm a long time, student and adversary, if you will, for all of IMC Nation, all the brothers. So I encourage everybody to tap into all of the IMC TV shows and, tap in with the Telegram groups and things of that nature. If y'all want to join the Master Circle, the link will be left in the description. And Yeah, man. So one and only Master Mycellf. This is the Master's Table. It's a pleasure and honor as always. And until next time, what we say in Nation Nation is be the best and fuck the rest. What I say is knowledge of self. It's knowledge